Okay, good afternoon. We're going to repeat a little bit of what we did yesterday with the warm-ups, but then we'll get into singing some music that you already know, some music you've been working on. Yesterday we did talk about fundamentals of singing, and I just want to kind of remind you about that because even though it seems very simple, it's actually really true. Singing is in many ways just a physical activity, and you just have to train your body to do the right things consistently, basically. So for our purposes, posture and breathing are the two fundamentals, and then we started working on some of the vocal production. And we're going to do a little bit more of that today as you're singing. Once we get into music, I'm going to start, I'm going to mess with you a little bit. I'm going to tinker with you a little bit. That's why I like being a choir director, because I get to mess with people. I like to twist them and turn them, and hopefully in a nice way, not too mean, and just explore the human voice, which is the most remarkable musical instrument that exists. There is no more flexible instrument, more creative instrument than the human voice. And it's the one instrument that God invented. All the other musical instruments were invented by people, and they're wonderful. But it's the instrument that God made, and it can do things that no musical instrument can. So it's fun to explore this thing that God has given to us and use it for His glory. All right, so put your stuff down, face to the right, and massage. The best part of every choir practice. Massage. Remember, the goal is relaxation, okay? Neck and upper shoulders. Try to remove some tension. All right, chop. Karate. Chop, chop. Do it hard enough so that it breaks through a little bit, but don't hurt them. If you want it to break through some of the tension. Okay, poke. Stiff fingers, poke. Poke all over the back. And slap. And scratch. That's when you can use your fingernails. Okay, now turn, please, about face. And massage. Massage. Part of what this is about, it's about getting rid of tension, but it's also about waking up your brain. And Sunday afternoon, it's kind of sleepy time, yes? So this is a part about getting ourselves awake physically, mentally, hopefully emotionally and spiritually as well, although that isn't part of the massage. Karate. Chop. And poke. And scratch. All right, I'm not sure we're getting rid of much tension. Let's face to the front, please. Good. Let's turn our heads to the side. Stretch. And then go the other way slowly. All the way over and stretch. Hold and then release. Go back the other way again. Try to go a little bit further. Hold, release, and back one more time. Stretch, stretch, and down. And up. Down. Up. Again, not too far back. And then to the side. And then the other side. And then a little bit further if you can, or at least hold it a little bit. And one more. And roll. Okay, up. Shoulders roll back 2 or 3 times. Shoulders should always be kind of relaxed and back. We don't want to press the shoulders back, but we also don't want them hunched over. All right, you want them to be kind of back and down in a relaxed posture with your hands by your side. And unless you're holding music, you should pretty much just keep your hands down there. If you are holding music, you want to be careful that you always hold it so that your elbows are out a little bit and the music is out, so you don't have to tilt your head down when you sing. It might feel a little bit artificial, but if you hold it out like this, then your rib cage can be expanded and you can look at your music without tilting your head down. Because remember, the optimal position for your head is basically your chin parallel to the ground, okay? So, shoulders are back, hands to the side, and then about shoulders width apart. Okay, do this, bounce a little bit on your toes. Yeah. And then settle back down, and there are two things you can do with your feet. One is kind of side by side with a little bit of a feeling of leaning forward. Can you try that? Just lean forward just enough that you can lift off your heels. Just a little bit. And then settle back, but you feel that kind of forward energy. Can you feel that? Yes? No? Okay. That's the kind of feeling you want as a singer. Another way to achieve that would be to put one foot in front of the other a little bit. And so something like this, where they're angled out a little bit and you can be like this, kind of leaning forward. And here, this is a lot of classical singers will use this kind of posture. It gives them a very strong rooted feeling for singing and using their whole body in singing. So whichever one is comfortable. I understand if you're standing like this, it feels a little bit artificial, you know. Okay, I'm in church singing now. You know, it just feels a little weird. Okay, so this is fine as long as you are a little bit forward on your feet. Okay. All right. Do you remember what to do with your hands to get our chest high? Hands up, palms out. All right, then bring them down slowly. Without hitting. Pause. Roll back. And you feel the muscles in your chest, yes? You should feel muscles along here and here, pulling the chest out and then down the rest of the way. Yeah. And then just kind of roll back, fix your clothes, and you're ready to go. Okay? All right. Deep breath, please, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Deep breath. Keep your posture the way we've just talked about it. Head, shoulders, chest, deep breath through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Good. Now, take one hand and put it here, and the other hand and put it here. This one should move, this one should not. Yes? Breathe. Again. Okay, not bad. That's good. If you feel a lot of heaving up here, then you're not actually being efficient with your breath. Okay? If you're an athlete and you're running, and then like you're playing basketball or running, and then you stop and you breathe really fast and heavily, and there's a lot of chest heaving, and that's okay in that situation because what you're doing is, I think, you're getting a lot of oxygen into your bloodstream fast from the shallow breaths. But that's not the kind of breathing you need for singing. There's really no benefit to that for singing. So what we want is this kind of open, chest is up and expanded, and we're fully open here so that the diaphragm can contract down, the lungs can pull in the air like we talked about yesterday. Inhale through your nose, exhale out on a S for 4 counts. All right, and you're going to push very hard from here, but not from here. We're going to sip through a straw like this. And push out for 4 counts. Fill up in 4, push out in 4. Got it? Okay, posture is good. Yes, check your posture. Here we go. Ready, go. Push. No, you're not pushing. You're letting the tire out of the air. I want you to push the air out, yes? But do it from here. Your rib cage should stay up, and it should be, and it's you're basically relaxing your diaphragm, and you're using some of the muscles here to push up. Okay, here we go. Again, ready, and 2, 3, 4. Wait a minute. How many of you were still breathing in when I got to 4? Nobody was. Yeah. I want you to breathe in all the way through number 4. Can you do it? This is really hard. Okay, here we go. Let's try it. Keep inhaling all the way through 4. It's amazing how much air you can get in. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. Push. 2, 3, 4. Better. This time, push all the air out in 4 counts. And then we're going to repeat. All right, here we go. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Push. 2. All of it. 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Push. 2, 3, 4. One more. 2, 3, 4. Push. 2, 3, 4. Relax. Good. Good. Do you feel the muscles working? That's part of the point of this exercise, is for you to start being aware of the muscles and actually pushing them to do a little bit more, strengthening them. And the goal, in real life, you're never going to have to push all the air out in 4 counts. You're never going to have to sing like that. You're never going to breathe in. Imagine Brother Benjamin starting you with a song, and so you're going to... Amazing. No, you're not going to do that. But what we're doing is we're working the muscles in different ways so that then you have maximum control of them. Okay? Let's do one more. We're going to breathe in 1 count and exhale 2 counts. And I want you to do something with your hands. I want you to take your hands and I want you to do this motion. So it's going to look like this. Can you do that? Down here and out just a little bit, okay? You see that? Down here like this, okay? Here we go, ready? Breathe. Push, 2, in, push, 2, in, push, 2, in, push. Okay, good. Last one. I lied. We'll do one more. In, out, in, out, in, out. And I'll tell you what we're doing with the hands in just a second. I'm not just trying to make you do funny looking things. Okay? Although you do look funny while you're doing it, but that's okay. All right. 1 in, 1 out. Yes. Without stopping. Not too fast. Try to fill in 1 and completely empty in 1. All right. Here we go. Ready? Go. Okay, good. Not bad. Now, you should feel the muscles, or maybe you're feeling your lunch in there. One of the two. All right? Hopefully both. The reason for the hand motion, all right, and again, I don't normally explain all the things in every choir rehearsal to my own choir, but I do it sometimes. I want you to know, when we exhale, we have a tendency to collapse everything, right? And we tend to collapse here. And the secret of solid breath support, one little secret, is that you actually shouldn't collapse anything. In fact, when I'm working with individual singers or working with my own college choir, I will ask them to do things where it feels like they're stretching outward from back here and around as they exhale. So that you actually have a sense of expansion when you breathe. The expansion is up here, but then you have a sense of expansion as you're exhaling by maintaining the muscles out here. And it's we won't do this now, but sometimes I'll say, okay, I want you to exhale, but I want you to push out with your stomach at the same time. And what you'll find if you do that is the muscles back here start functioning more. You'll actually start to feel them, and they become a part of what you're doing with your breathing apparatus. And all of that ultimately is about creating a solid breath support that is consistent. So instead of going because the muscles can't maintain a consistent kind of pressure or expansion, you can have very solid, which will let you sing a very beautiful line because you have consistent air. Does that make sense? So that's why. There's a couple other breathing things we could do, but for now, I think let's repeat the one we did yesterday as our last breathing exercise, where you're exhaling on s, and then I snap my finger, and you have the boing. Remember the boing breath? Okay, boing or surprise breath. Just immediately fill up. Okay, here we go. Exhale on a s. When I snap my finger, just let everything open up and fill up. Okay, let's see what happens. Here we go. Ready? Exhale and s. Okay, keep going. And you're expanding. Yeah, good. Now, there was a lot of motion, and we don't really want to have a... Okay, the boing is not outward, the boing is inward. So keep the boing inside. Don't collapse. Have your hands go out this time as you're exhaling. Slowly. Ready? Go. Keep going. And expand. Expand. Okay, can you feel it? Hopefully you feel that kind of like just sudden filling of air. And the wonderful thing about that is, if you can make that consistent practice when you're singing a song and you need a quick breath, even if it's not at the right place, you can still catch that breath, immediately get enough air to carry you through the next phrase. Or for musical expressive reasons, you don't want a big kind of breath, you just want a little and keep going. It allows you to do that. And it removes tension. There's no tension when you breathe that way, because you're not breathing in, your body, your lungs are pulling the air in without you consciously trying to do it. Okay, so anyway, that's behind all of that. Let me do a couple of quick warm-ups here. We won't do all of them because we need to get into the music, and I know our time is short. But let's do the hum. Look this way, please, for a second. And let's go right to a hum. Just relaxed jaw, tongue flat on that note. And move your jaw around a little bit. Move it up and down. Keep singing. Breathe when you need to. Keep going. You notice how it feels different as you move your jaw? It sounds different and feels different, yes? Keep doing that, and then let your jaw relax into the most comfortable, beautiful position for your body. Make sure your tongue is flat on the bottom of your mouth. Relaxed. Okay, not too loud. Now let's do it down here. Okay, nice and easy, don't push. Num, N with your tongue, M with your lips. Try it. Everybody sing the N. Relax your jaw. There you go. Hear how nice that is? Do you hear it? Listen. Keep singing. Keep singing. But listen at the same time. With the jaw relaxed, now close your lips. Okay, now just pause for a second. I want you to get that into your ear and into your body. Do you see how it feels? Pay attention to it, and you notice the sound. It's very warm, it's very free, and it's beautifully unified. It sounds like one voice, even though none of you are trying to sound like anybody else. That's the beauty of good vocal technique. You can sound like a unified voice without imitating each other. Because imitating each other isn't any good, because you all have different bodies. Different vocal folds, different vocal mechanisms. All of our bodies are completely different from each other in some ways. Our voices shouldn't sound exactly the same. But if we use them right, they can be unified. Okay? Okay, let's start with the N again, with a relaxed jaw. N. Relax your jaw. And now close your lips. That's the sound. Slowly, again. Okay, now we're going to go down. I want you to think about something. I want you to imagine a balloon slowly going up as you're going down. Can you do that? Picture a lovely balloon. It was just Valentine's Day, last week, and in Manila, people sell balloons all up and down the streets, heart-shaped balloons. And I looked out my window, our condo is on the 6th floor. I looked out the window and there went a balloon floating up. Somebody lost it. Somebody's heart was broken as the balloon floated away. But that's the feeling, just kind of floating up as we go down the pitch. Okay, could you hear a difference on their bottom note this time compared to the previous? Yes. Nod your head. Good, that's the right answer. Yeah, now, he's not lying. It actually was different. And the difference was you weren't pressing the low notes down. Because what I've noticed you doing sometimes yesterday, when we were going lower, it was kind of like this. And you're kind of pressing it down here. And that's not, it doesn't sound good, and it actually doesn't feel good either, does it? Okay? So as we go down, we're going to have this floating kind of feeling. Let's just do 2 more and see if you can get used to that feeling. Still the floating balloon as we go down. Relax your jaw. Here we go. Good. And the balloon is going up. And there it goes. Lovely. One more. Excellent, and that's getting pretty low now for some of you. The key is never ever apply pressure here. You can see the neck start to stretch or bulge out. Don't ever do that. You'll never achieve beauty from working here. The beauty is going to come from the breast support and from what you do with your mouth. Beauty of tone comes with good breast support and what you do with your tongue and the shape of your mouth, and never from pressing here, okay? The other thing that you did that was very good these last 2 times is you kept your jaw relaxed. And you notice 2 times ago I said relax your jaw, and everybody kind of relaxed the jaw, and all of a sudden the tone was different. Did you hear that? As soon as I said it and you adjusted, all of a sudden the tone became very beautiful and very unified. So make sure you keep this jaw relaxed and let it kind of float instead of locking it into place, okay? Remember I said yesterday, if you can remove tension, you have a greater chance for beauty. But tension in the muscles, in the jaw, does not actually help bring beauty to the sound, okay? We're going to do just one other warm-up for now so that we can, Brother Benjamin can take you through some music. This is a little bit weird one. I didn't do this one yesterday. The pattern is like this. So if you're into solfege, which I hope you are, we're just starting at the beginning, at the top of the scale. Do, ti, la, ti, la, sol, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, do. Dee, 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 dee. Just going down the scale that way, okay? I'll play it. And this first time I just want you to hum it. Okay? Just hum it with the relaxed jaw. Either a hum or a num, whichever you feel like doing, whichever feels good to you right now. I'm going to do it down in this key. Ready? And... Okay, wait. Is your jaw relaxed? And is your tongue flat? Okay, let's start again. Yeah, you understand the pattern? Let's do it here. One more time. This time everybody on the num with a relaxed jaw. Let's get a good start. That's pretty high. We haven't really numbed up that high yet. Okay, and... in falsetto. Okay, that little light half voice up high. And go. All right, very good. Now, we're going to do the same pattern, but we're going to do it with a different sound. We're going to go, see what do I do? Ni, ne, na, no, nu. Okay? Ni, ne, na, no, nu. Ni, with the corners in a little bit, okay? And yep. Sing that first note, just sing ni with a lot of teeth. I want to see. I was in Shanghai one time working with this church choir, and I said, okay, I want to see your rabbit teeth. You know, like, you know, you watch a rabbit eat, you know, okay, and you see all these teeth up here, yes? Right? Have you ever watched a rabbit eat? Go on YouTube, okay? Watch a rabbit eat. And so I said, I want to see your rabbit teeth. You know, and they were all kind of laughing, rabbit teeth, rabbit. So then, during the break, the choir director, the lady, she walked by the ladies' toilet, and then she came back to me and said, Brother Bachorik, all the women are in the bathroom looking in the mirror at their rabbit teeth. And they're looking in the mirror trying to, where are my rabbit teeth? It was very funny. Guess you had to be there, though. I want to see your rabbit teeth, yes? Nee, nee. Can you do that? And go. Yeah, ni, ne, na, no, nu. Ni, ne. With rabbit teeth all the way down, yes? I'm going to be watching. Rabbit teeth, okay? All the way down, deep breath, go. Yeah, with each change you got to switch. I know this is complicated on a Sunday afternoon. Change as we go to ni, ne, na, no, nu. Got it? One more time or two more times and go. It started out really beautiful, even though it's kind of big and loud, and then we heard this kind of crunch in the middle. Did you hear that? Me crunchy. See if you can keep it focused so there's no crunch. Nee. That changed right there. Okay, go. That's really very good. It was so good, we're going to do one more. And go. Very good. Now, normally when you do that, we should do it a little bit faster and try to do it all in one breath. And then maybe actually get quite a bit faster and take the sopranos and tenors up higher. Now, why do I have you do that? I always wish I was tall enough to do that. The point of that is that you are maintaining the same tone quality from top to bottom, the same kind of sound, all right, from top to bottom, and the same kind of sound through 5 different vowels. Ni, ne, na, no, nu. Those are very different vowels. And instead of going ni, ne, na, no, nu, 5 totally different sounds, right? Ni, ne, na, no, nu. Now, I realize that doesn't sound very beautiful, and the point is not that, but the point is to maintain a kind of sound no matter what vowel you're singing. And honestly, when you were doing that and all locked in, it's a big, vibrant, rich sound. A very exciting, energetic kind of sound. Now, that's not the right sound for all the music we sing, but that's a good kind of default sound. And that's kind of what we've just been doing for the past 15 minutes or so here, is working on kind of a default. And then from that default, we work to other sounds. We alter it a little bit here and there to do something for the purpose of expression, for the purpose of beauty in the music, or for any number of reasons. But you have to have a kind of a default vocal setting. So it's kind of like when you boot up your laptop, then it opens to this default setting. That's kind of what this is, and then we work from that, okay? All right, so I'm going to quit talking for a minute and let you guys sing under Brother Benjamin.
Sing Nearer, Still Nearer. I chose a very easy song because I think that we can work on the foundations of easy song. I forgot it was 464. Okay, 464.
464.
Do you still remember the part? Okay, I'll just go through the parts from the bass to the sopranos. Then we'll just start singing off it. Let's start from the bass, nearest to nearer. Yeah, let's start from the bass. Okay, ready, go.
Okay, good. Can I stop you for a second? So what we're doing right now is we're reviewing the parts or learning the parts. They already know this song or not yet?
I think they sang this song before.
Okay.
Just reviewing some of the parts.
Okay, good. Try this. If you don't mind. He's being very kind, letting me pick on him in front of you.
Because
Okay.
I don't know anything actually. I learned from YouTube, so.
YouTube is a good, as long as you're watching the right people on YouTube. It's good. No. I'm sure you are. I think you're doing a great job. So I'm gonna add a little something to what you're doing here. Okay. Have them sing it on a vowel that they can work on singing really beautifully while they're reviewing the notes, because they already know the words, right? But you just heard them when they started singing. It really wasn't very unified yet, was it? Yes. So have them sing, and because this is going to get quite low, have them try singing maybe, let's stick with the ni ni ni. Ni, 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 ni. Not pushing, okay, basses? Just relaxed jaw, but ni with rabbit teeth. And see if you can make it as smooth as you can. Okay, you try that?
Go for it. So let's try with the knee. And I think we also put it in the same tonal quality as well. Yeah. Okay, let's try. Ready, go.
Okay. Do you see rabbit teeth up there?
No.
No, we don't. There's no rabbit. Well, I saw maybe one set of rabbit teeth. Good, you're right.
Yeah.
Now, the next time, if you don't see rabbit teeth, stop them and make them do rabbit teeth. This is the fun of being a conductor. This is the power, okay? No, but you want them, because you could hear it. Here, okay, guys, I'm going to be nasty for a second here, but here's what we just heard. Nee, nee, nee. That's not very nice, is it? Okay, I'm not trying to be mean, but if you pull the corners in just a little bit and give rabbit teeth, all of a sudden it's nee. And all of a sudden we hear better tone, and it's stronger, actually. Okay? Instead of nee through the nose, nee, 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 nee. Sing just that first note. Nee, nee. That's already better. Can you hear that? That's already better. Can you guys, ladies, hear that? Yes? Nod your head. Okay, good answer. You're next, ladies. So we'll get even with you later, okay? Yeah, it really does. And I know that it feels weird. Okay, let me just say, I know it feels weird, and you think that you look weird when you're doing it. You do. No, you don't. It doesn't really look that weird. Okay, now I might look weird, but I was born that way. You don't look weird while you're doing it, but it sounds better. Okay? So do the rabbit teeth. He's not going to let you go without the rabbit teeth. Don't let them go.
Yeah, I think in the past we used to say pronounce the words and then smile. Yeah. So you can try that. Let's try it. Ready, go.
That's better. Pull the corners in. Yeah, good. And you maintained that sound pretty much all the way through. Now the trick will be to get used to doing that consistently and make sure that you're not pushing from here. And if you feel tired here at the end of it, that's why, because you're pushing here. Let your mouth do it. The shape of the mouth and the air, rather than, especially when you get to those really low notes. I have a little secret to tell you. You cannot add low notes to the bottom of your range because your vocal folds are the way God made them, and they're only so fat and so long. All right? And the only way you can make them fatter and longer is either by smoking cigarettes or drinking vodka, and that's not the way to do it. Okay? You can't give yourself lower notes, but you can go higher because you can always stretch a rubber band thinner, but you can't make a rubber band any fatter. Does that make sense? So if you don't have a big fat low G, don't worry about it. God didn't give it to you. Just shape it right, do the breath support correctly, and whatever comes out, comes out. Don't try to make it any more than that, because then you'll force it from here, and it won't be beautiful, and it will hurt. Okay? All right, good.
I actually have a few questions for
Okay, go ahead.
One is that, let's say if the bass has to sing a very low note and then it sings a very high note. But I think it applies to the tenors, altos, and sopranos as well. Like for example, I don't think this song has it, but let's say if I sing the nearest to near, close to, then to. So it's like some
Right, like a big leap. Right.
Like octave. In the case of how do they actually overcome that?
Sure. Yeah, there's two things about that, okay? One has to do with your mouth, all right? Yesterday, do you remember, ladies, what I told you when you were getting higher in your range? What did I ask you to do? The guys remember. That's kind of weird. Ladies, what did I ask you to do? Do you remember? Two fingers, yes. Open more. Okay, ladies, when you go to your higher range, you need to open up vertically a bit more, okay? But still keep the rabbit teeth, all right? Which will feel a little bit weird, but it works. And it makes high notes pop out really beautifully. It doesn't work for men that way, okay? But it does for a lady's voice. So the higher you go, you open up this way, but keep the rabbit teeth. So if you're going to go from a low note up to a high note, then you're going to open up. Now it doesn't work in a guy, so it sounds wrong in my voice. But for you all, let's just try that. Let's do it on we'll make it really obvious first. We'll go like that, ladies. Go. Oh, wait. Make sure the E is corners in and rabbit teeth. Go. Two fingers. Do that again. That's actually not too bad. Do it again. Yeah, now, do you hear that? Actually sounds pretty comfortable. Now, when you practice it some more, it would get easier. Now, the words might not be EA, right, that you're singing, but that's the shape that you want to do your mouth. So whatever the vowel is, cheat towards E on the low notes, ladies. Cheat towards A or Ah on the high notes. Okay, now you still have to say whatever the vowel is, but you can cheat towards it. It's called modifying the vowels. And when you go high, you modify vertically, and when you go low, we open up a little bit more horizontally. But pretty much always with rabbit teeth. And the reason for the rabbit teeth is it keeps you from getting the sound to go into the back of your throat. Yeah, try that. Just go. You feel it back here, yes? Now go. And if your tongue and jaw are relaxed when you do that, your whole face is resonating. Your sinus cavities, the nasal, the mouth, everything is resonating. So that's the reason for that. Okay, so ladies, that's what you do when you do a high leap like that, or go high. Men, what did I tell you to do yesterday when you go to high notes? I didn't actually talk about it too much. So here's the phrase I want you to remember. Bite the apple. Say it. Bite the apple. When men go high, you need to maintain the corners pulled in, or actually you need to pull the corners in a little bit more, and imagine you're biting an apple. Can you try that? Go. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, okay? When you do that, you get this full resonant sound, all right? Let me try to demonstrate, okay? I'm not a tenor, but I'll try to fake one for just a second, all right? Oh, now I could do that, and that's okay. But it's not a very full sound, and it won't carry very far. But if I go, all of a sudden it's big and loud. Now, that's not exactly the sound I want, but that's close to it. And so, by biting the apple. Do like this, go. Yeah, you know what that sounds like? It sounds like you're singing in a pillow. Right? Okay. Now you're going to bite the apple. Ready, go. Yes, that's an amazing sound. You sound like men instead of a little boy in a pillow, okay? Big difference. Now, that fullness of sound isn't what we always want, depending on the music. But again, that should be kind of your norm. When you go to high notes, men, you pull the corners in and bite the apple. Don't close your teeth. You're biting the apple, but you're only biting into the apple, not all the way through. Okay, so it's not, all right, it's just, and now the apple's stuck. You're biting the apple and holding it, okay? So when you go high, bite the apple with the corners in. Ladies, when you go high, relax, open, but keep the rabbit teeth. And those two things, that's the key. And then everybody, when you're down low, it's still kind of the rabbit teeth, but the jaw is shallow and we're open a little bit more this way. Yi, mi, me, ma, mo, mu. Not mi, me, ma, mo, mu. You keep it a little bit brighter for a default setting. Does that help? Okay.
Yes. Okay, we'll just try to go through the rest of the parts.
Okay, now before you do that, I know. We're running out of time here. Okay, I have somewhat against you, Brother Benjamin. Okay? Now, you've got these wonderful people here, and they're all here giving their time to you and the Lord, yes? And you're going to do the basses, and what are the ladies going to do?
Yes.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You're going to do the tenors. What are the ladies and the basses going to do? Nothing. Do you follow the picture?
Yes.
Yeah. So, that means for 75% of your time, 75% of your choir is doing nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you know what they're doing? Or they're pulling out their cell phones or whatever. What I would suggest you try is make everybody sing the tenor part. You're about to review the tenor part, correct?
It wouldn't confuse them because
No, they're very smart people. I think they're very smart people. In fact, after you try this, then I'll tell you the benefit of it. But for now, whatever you're going to do the tenors, have everybody do it. Okay?
yeah, let's try this. Let's try tenor part using knee, and then you just show your teeth, and when you go to the higher notes, you remember the yeah. Let's try this. Let's sing the first note first. Ready, go. Let's try the first note again. Ready, go. The entire piece. Ready, go.
Stop there for time's sake. But the reason that I suggest you do something like that is, number one, everybody's busy the whole time making music. Okay, that's one benefit. Everyone's thinking, working, and by having everybody sing, that helps the one section that you're reviewing. Because they're not doing it by themselves, they have the whole group doing it with them. So it actually makes them, supports them as they're relearning or reviewing the piece. The third thing it's doing is it's making your ladies look at the bass clef. And they're going to grow musically from that. And sopranos, where are the sopranos? Yeah, you know, I have a secret. Sopranos are lazy. Okay, don't tell them that. But they only ever sing the melody, you know, so they're just... Sorry, sopranos. But you do, you sing the melody all the time, right? So by doing this, you're getting them to hear and develop their ears and getting a feel for what's going on underneath their sound. So you've got three different benefits there by making everybody sing all of the parts. So by the time you're ready to sing it, everybody knows all the parts. Now the sopranos are not going to sing the bass part in real life, but they have that knowledge, it's in their ear, and it will help them actually as they're singing their own part. And everybody has been working the whole time, growing musically at the same time. So that's why I strongly encourage any note learning techniques that keep everybody involved at the same time. And this is just one way to do that. Okay? That makes sense? Okay, good. Now, one other question. Did you like the knee sound that they were making at the beginning?
So one is that it is not focused. So that's one. Then second is that some of you are not using the diaphragm. Yeah, so that was the other. Okay. And I think those are the two main things I saw.
Okay. And what about your ears? Part of what you just described is like what you were seeing. What did your ears tell you about the sound of the vowel? Did anything jump out at you?
It's not a free sound.
Okay, that's fine. I guess the one thing that jumped out at me is I could hear one or two ladies who had a really bright kind of sound, and it wasn't quite melded into the overall sound. And so next time you did it, you could say, okay, let's do that. Let's do it through the circle. Let's sing through the circle, or something like that to try to capture. And so what you always want to do is, as you're listening, when you hear something you don't like, stop and try to fix it. Even if you're not sure how to fix it. Okay, this is a nasty little secret, but part of being a good choir director is trial and error. So I'm always trying crazy stuff with my choirs. And sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. But I hear something I don't like, or I want it a certain way, and if we're not getting it, I'll say, okay, stop, let's try doing this, and we'll do something weird. And maybe it works and maybe it doesn't. And then I remember the things that work and I throw away the things that don't. But so I'm just encouraging you, as you're working with them, and you guys are doing a great job. When you hear things you don't like, stop, try to identify what it is that wasn't nice, and then create a little experiment to try to fix it. And don't worry about the fact that half the time it doesn't work, because that's normal. And then the more you do it over time, the more you'll find the things that work all the time. And YouTube is good for finding suggestions for stuff like that too, so it's good.
No, I can message you.
Okay, you can message me. All right, but I know we have like 30 seconds left. Can I just say one final thing? First of all, I want to thank you for letting me work with your choir. It's always a scary thing to let somebody else work with your choir, you know. And so I don't take that for granted at all. I appreciate it. So thank you very much. And I just want to say one final word to you. One of the goals of our 2 choir times was to deal with singing for the Lord. All right. Yesterday I did talk about that kind of extensively, and then I reiterated it in the 8 o'clock this morning. But there's one other thing I just wanted to mention to you about singing for the Lord. We've been focusing on this session on singing with our voice, and it's hugely important. What you do as a choir can have a tremendous spiritual impact on your church, okay? And I don't want you to lose sight of that when choir rehearsals get frustrating sometimes, or difficult, or long. Just remember that the purpose of it is ultimately the spiritual benefit of your fellow believers. And honestly, your own spiritual benefit. Because as I may have mentioned this yesterday, you need to feed on the truths of the songs before you feed them to your congregation. All right? So, you sing with your voice, yes? But you also sing with your life. And so that's the one thing I wanted to leave you with before we end it today is, as much as we've been focusing right now on the details of the voice, and it's very important and it's wonderful to explore, and we could do this for hours and just keep developing things. Even if you sing with the most beautiful tone, most blended, most in tune choir, most musical, you could win competitions. But if you're not singing also from your heart, in other words, you really believe what you're singing, and singing with your life. In other words, every day of the week, striving to live out the truths that you're singing about, then there's no use singing with your voice. Okay? We don't sing only with our voice. We sing with our heart, in other words, our mental, spiritual, saying yes, Lord, to the things we're saying, but then also singing with our life. And honestly, if you will switch those priorities, make sure first that you're singing with your life. Secondly, make sure you are really singing with your heart and mind. And then thirdly, to the best of your ability, sing with your voice. Even if that third one isn't quite as nice as you want it to be, the impact will be significant. You will be an instrument that the Holy Spirit can use. Now, we want to be as beautiful as we can. We want to sing in tune. We want to sing in a way that is fitting to the text. So we want to strive for those things. But honestly, we need to make sure we keep our priorities right, because a believer who loves God, believes God, walks with God, and sings, and maybe their voice isn't perfect, will have a greater impact on your congregation than somebody with absolutely magnificent voice and a life that has absolutely nothing to do with the truths they're singing about. So keep that in mind. Strive for excellence, strive for beauty, but make sure you're striving for those things first in your life, and what you believe, and then with your voice as well. And then you will be an amazing instrument, and are. I'm not saying you're not, probably. It's just easy when we focus on music to forget that there's actually something more behind that. So may God bless you as you continue to serve the Lord with your choir ministry. It's a blessing to hear you, and a blessing to get to work with you yesterday and today. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, because I think this is an important part where it's about blending. So
Okay.
let's see if all parts blend together. What is the best way to get them to blend?
I would suggest, for the next month or so, you focus on the vowel stuff that we were just doing today. Okay, breath and the vowels. If you guys can do consistently the stuff we've just been doing with the vowels, you will automatically have a 80% better blend just by working with the vowels, because the blend comes from the vowels. So work on that, getting that matched tone no matter what vowel they're singing. That's the first and most important step towards a blended sound. Okay? Breath support and vowels. Okay? Yeah, there's no other secret to it. That's it. So,
I'll just invite Brother Doak to listen.
okay. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for the amazing gift of music and for these voices you've entrusted to each of us. And Lord, we thank you not only that you've given them to us, but you have entrusted them to us so that we can give them back to you, and so that we can use them for the benefit of our fellow believers and ultimately as a witness to the lost also. So Lord, I ask for your blessing upon this church and upon this choir. You'd give Brother Benjamin wisdom as he leads it, that you would give each of the members a heart's desire to be used as we've just been talking about. I pray you'd help each one as they work on posture and breathing and the technical aspects of singing, that they might grow in their skill and consistency. But Lord, I do pray most of all for all of us, that you would tune our hearts to sing your praise, that you would tune our lives so that others would hear Christ in us. And then, Lord, help us to sing to the very best of our ability, to point our fellow believers to you. We'll thank you for it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.